think it's, maybe close enough to 9 o'clock. Looks like we maybe have a minute, 30 seconds. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get started. I am Tracy from Waldo Thai Massage and Bodywork, and we're going to do some yoga this morning. Today I thought we would do, I do a lot of sun salutations typically in my classes, but today I was feeling dark and mysterious. That's not even true. I can't back that up at all. I don't think I ever feel dark and mysterious. Anyways, but I thought we would do some moon salutations instead. Moon salutations tend to be much more opening and feminine, whereas sun salutations tend to be more, I don't want to say closed, but we'll say closed and masculine. So today we're going to do moon salutations and then some variations on moon salutations. So go ahead and find your comfortable seated position, and we'll just kind of take a minute to get grounded and then just sort of start waking up our muscles a little bit. So in your comfortable seated position, hands resting gently on your knees or in your lap or wherever feels good. And let's take a few minutes or a couple seconds, whatever, to get a little more centered, a little more grounded, and a little more present in this moment. So close your eyes, sit up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, and just start letting go of any stress and tension, tightness that you might be feeling in your body. So I want you to soften your belly, soften your face, release any tension that you might be feeling in your knees, in your hips, maybe even your fingers, your feet, wherever you feel tension, wherever you feel tightness. I want you just to think for a moment about those areas and just visualize the stress and the tension melting out of your body. Now I want you to bring your focus to your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I want you to do some nice big belly breathing. So on your inhale, I want you to actually feel your belly rise and expand. And then on your exhale, physically pressing that belly button back towards your spine and squeezing out all the old air. So big, slow inhale, the belly rises. Long, slow exhale, the belly presses back. Sort of visualizing a bellows. Does everybody know what a bellows is? Those squeezy things that you use to make a fire bigger. It presses air in and out. Maybe I'm old, and that's the only reason I know what a bellows is. I'm going to stop talking. Focus on your breath. And now let's do some big circles with our head. So drop your chin down to your chest and then roll your head all the way around. So it's over your right shoulder and then your back, over your left shoulder, all the way back down. And just take a few moments here to really slowly, always move slowly, mindfully, as you're making these great big circles with your head. And if you notice any areas of tension or tightness, feel free to just kind of stop and breathe into those areas. I'm just trying to relax all of these muscles. And then once you've gone one direction for a little while, maybe switch to the other direction, but just sort of explore this movement. And again, stopping in any areas where you might feel tension or tightness. Maybe instead of just making circles, maybe turn your head a little bit to one side or to the other side. But like I said, just explore this movement, all of the directions that your head goes. All right, and then bring your head back to center, coming back to stillness. Taking just a second to check in with your body again, make sure that no tension or tightness has crept back in. You're still nice and relaxed. And then if you'd like, you can go ahead and open your eyes now. If you want to keep them closed, that's cool too. I'll never actually know. So we're going to do a little bit of expanding and contracting. I always feel like, never mind, it doesn't matter. So I married an axe murderer. Let's be children of the night and expand, contract, which is basically what we're going to do, but very slowly. So I want you to bring your arms out in front and then round your spine and tuck your belly in, pressing your belly back, reaching your arms forward, feeling a nice big stretch across your upper back. You can bring that head down, kind of tucking that chin in, maybe even just sort of sitting back a little bit. So here is your contraction, and then you're going to open up, reach the arms back for your expansion. Even bringing those fingers all the way back, seeing if you can feel a stretch along that inner arm, along the wrists there. So really see how far back you can reach your arms. Maybe tipping the head back in this big pose of expansion. And then come back to your contraction. So arms come forward, round the upper back, reaching forward. And then expand. Bring the arms back, fingers back, opening up. And say, I love being me. I am awesome. And then bring the arms back front. You may make these movements feel good on your body. Just opening up, releasing, warming up the muscles. Open up for your expansion. Fingers come back. And then release. Whew, maybe feeling just a little more, loosey-goosey this morning. Yeah, let's do some moon salutations. So go ahead and stand up. I've got my mat heading this direction as opposed to diagonal, which I normally do, because we will be doing things this direction versus this direction today. So standing in the middle of your mat, finding your Tadasana. So sometimes yoga instructors will tell you that your feet should be touching. I find that a little bit difficult. My thighs are, not scrawny. So I usually have my feet just a tiny bit apart. So mostly whatever feels right to you. I mean, you don't want your feet hip distance or anything. So close together, but they don't necessarily have to be touching. But they can if that feels good. All right, so, and then you'll see me do this. I wiggle around a lot when I'm doing these. And it's basically because I'm just spreading my feet out. So that instead of, kind of being here, I'm going to spread my feet out so that I get more surface area, so that I'm really grounded and solid in my stance. And maybe just because I'm a little bit of a weirdo and I wiggle a lot. Don't judge. We don't judge here. All right, and then shoulders back and down. Arms are at your sides. Knees are not bent, but just, a little bit loose. So you're in here in your mountain pose, feeling very strong like a mountain. And then reach your arms out and up. Shoulders still down, so fingers reaching up, shoulders pulling down. And then I want you to interlace your fingers and reach up, lengthening that spine, and we're going to come into, they call it different things, we'll call it sundial. So you're just going to arch kind of over to the right side. But keep that left arm, that left shoulder back so that you're looking underneath that arm. So I don't want you to, come forward into this. I want you to stay back and open. And you're feeling that stretch all along that side. And then come back to center. And then we'll take this stretch to the other side. Again, keeping that right shoulder back. And just really feeling this stretch. And then come back to center. Bring the hands to prayer, still above your head, but in prayer. And then you're going to step your feet out to a big, wide stance. So coming into star pose. While you're in your star, if you just kind of tuck your hips under, I gotta adjust, excuse me. If you just tuck your hips under a little bit, sometimes I get like this nice stretch in my hip flexors while I'm in star. Feels good. All right, and from star, we'll come into Trikonasana or triangle pose. So reach the arms out to a T. Your right toes are going to turn all the way that direction. Left toes maybe turn in just slightly, but then readjust so that if you've opened up, I want you to come back to center. Arms reaching out and we're coming into triangle. So you're going to start hinging and reaching with that right arm. Absolutely as far as it goes. And then bring that right arm down, left arm stacks on top. But just like in our sundial, you want to keep that left shoulder back and turning and looking up at the ceiling. If you're super loose and flexible and you can come all the way down to the ground, that's cool. As long as you're fairly flat. So you don't want to come forward just so that you can get your hand down. All right, and then from triangle, bring that left hand down, bringing both hands to the mat to sort of frame that front foot. And then step that left foot up. We're coming into pyramid pose. So the left foot is now, I don't know, a couple feet, 18 inches, whatever, behind your right foot. All toes pointing forward. And then round the spine, tuck the chin under, bring your forehead towards that right knee. This should be a fairly intense stretch on that right hamstring. And now step that left foot back, bending the right knee, and we're coming into low lunge. So in your low lunge, you want that left foot back as far as it goes, so you're up on those left toes. Right knee is above your right ankle. From low lunge, we'll come into side lunge or skandasana. So just walk your hands in the front here, pivoting on the back toes so that now your heel is down and your toes are at an angle. Turn your right toes into an angle and then come up on that left heel for side lunge. And then slide across, staying nice and low. Drop those hips down. Which one? The right toes pointing towards the ceiling. And then pivot around again so that you're in the lunge facing the other direction. From low lunge, we'll step up. Try to keep that right knee straight. From low lunge, we're going to step up to pyramid. Again, rounding the spine, tuck the chin in, forehead towards the left knee. And then step the right foot back again. Big wide stance. We're coming into triangle again. So with your big wide stance, straighten the left knee and come in to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keeping that right hip back, right shoulder back, looking up at the ceiling. And then reach through that right arm to come to standing. Pivoting on the heels or the toes so that the toes are sort of at an angle now. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, coming in to goddess pose. So just dropping down as much as you can, wrists press back, knees press back. So you want to open through here, so you're really pressing the knees back. And then straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Right toes come in, and we're going to do this whole thing in reverse. So right toes come in, left toes come out. Realigning so that the hip points are square this way. Reaching, coming into your triangle. And really pressing that right foot into the mat, seeing if you can feel a stretch in that right side body. And then bring the right arm down, coming all the way to the mat. Step the right foot up, coming into your pyramid. And then step the right foot back, coming in to low lunge. Walk the hands around, coming into side lunge. So left toes come to an angle, coming up on the right heel, right toes pointing towards the ceiling, drop the hips way down. Slide all the way across, staying as low as you can. Coming into Skandasana on the other side. If that right heel comes up a little bit, that's okay. You want to work towards keeping that right heel on the mat, but it's okay if it comes up. And then pivoting it around, coming into low lunge. And then step that left foot up, come into pyramid. Step the left foot back. Straighten the legs, come into triangle. And then reach through the arms. Come to standing. Step the feet together. Reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers, reach up. And to the left. Back to center. Reach up and to the right. And back to center. And bring the arms to your sides for Tadasana. Okay, so let's go through some, now that you kind of know, we're going to go through that moon salutation a few more times. If this is new to you, some of these might be some kind of new movements, some new transitions, some new poses, whatever. So we'll do these a few more times so that your body sort of starts kind of figuring it out as we go along. And I don't do a live chat during these because I can't really see that far away, and then I'd have to run and like answer and whatever. So, but you can always message me. I think you can do that. I'll have to figure that out, but you probably can. Or comment, and then I can answer if you have questions about something, and then I can answer your comments in the next video. I think that works. I'll have to figure that out. Anyways, all right, Tadasana, shoulders back and down, knees soft, reach the arms up. Make sure to keep I'm going to stop real quick. Make sure to keep the shoulders down when you do this movement. You don't want to hike your shoulders up and then so that, you're doing this movement first. You want to really make sure that you keep those shoulders down. So shoulders down, arms up. Interlace the fingers, reach up and to the right. Turning to look under that left arm. Back to center. And then straighten up and come to the left. Back to center. Bring the hands to prayer. Step the feet out, big wide stance. Coming into your star pose. Legs straight, hips tucked under a little bit. Reach the arms out. Right toes turn all the way out. Left toes can either stay where they are or come in just a touch if that feels better. Realign the hips, come into triangle. So reaching, then bring that right arm down, left arm stacks on top. Foot, step the left foot up for pyramid. Round the spine, tuck the chin under, in, whatever. Bring your forehead towards your knee. Step that left foot back, low lunge. Side lunge. Slide across. And pivot around, lunge to the other side. Step that right foot up for pyramid. Step the right foot back, coming into triangle pose. So legs are straight, reaching the right arm up. Reach through that arm, come to standing. Toes come out to an angle. Bend the elbows, bend the knees for goddess pose. And always making little micro adjustments whenever you're just hanging out in a pose. So continuing to try to press the knees back, press the wrists back, maybe sink deeper and deeper. But you're never just static in a pose. Poses are always moving. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Right toes come in, left toes go out. Realign the hips and come into triangle. And just kind of noticing as we go through these sequences that as your muscles start to get a little bit more warmed up, you can get a little bit deeper into each pose. And then bring that right arm down, step up for pyramid. Step the right foot back for low lunge. Come into side lunge. Slide across. And lunge to the right side. Step up to pyramid. Step the left foot back for triangle. And then reach through that left hand, come to standing. Step the feet together. Reach the arms up, interlace the fingers, reach up and to the left. Back to center and up and to the right. And back to center. Arms come down for Tadasana. Okay, so we'll do that one again, maybe several more times, but we're gonna add on to it this time. So we'll see how this goes. So reach the arms out, come all the way up, interlace the fingers, reach up and to the right. Back to center, up and to the left. Back to center. Bring the hands to prayer, step the feet out for star pose. Reach the arms out. Right toes turn all the way out. Left toes can come in just a little. Realign the hips. Come into triangle. So reaching, reaching, reaching. Then bring that right arm down. Left arm stacks. Looking up either at that left hand or at the ceiling. From here, we'll come into balancing half moon. So you're going to bring your right hand in front of your right foot. And then, I don't do this particularly well, so just go with me on this. So you're just going to kick up with that left leg into balancing half moon. But the hips should be open, so you're not closed in this. Oh, I'm totally falling over. See, some days are just better than others. Oh, so you can keep that right or that left hand on the hip if you want, as you kind of start to open those hips. Left foot is flexed, and then if you want to stack that arm, you can do that. If you're super balanced today, you can actually start lifting the right arm up. But I'm going to stay right here. And then I'm going to bring my left hand down for standing splits. So now I'm closing the hips. So I was open. Now I'm dropping that left hip down for standing splits. This one's tricky because, well, I find it tricky, but you really want to keep the left toes pointing down. And then drop that foot down, coming directly in to pyramid. And then step the left foot back for low lunge. So from here, if you want a bit more challenge, you can bring the hands to prayer and then come into your side lunge this way. I think I'm not feeling that today, so I am going to keep my hands down. But if you want to bring your hands up to prayer, that's awesome. But this is where I'm feeling today. And then slide across. And lunge to the left. Step that right foot up for pyramid. This time, we're going to bring the arms up, come to standing. And then we're going to bring the arms down and around behind us, coming into prayer hands behind your back. Can you see that? Hope you can see that. So basically you're just in prayer, but behind you. And wherever you get to, this can be kind of a tricky stretch. And then from here, we're going to come back forward into our pyramid, but getting a little bit of a shoulder stretch this time. Release the hands, bring them back down to the mat. Step the right foot back, coming into triangle. So opening those hips, right arm comes up, keeping the right hip back, the right shoulder back. Reach through that right arm, come to standing. Toes turn out. Bend the knees, bend the elbows for goddess. Straighten the legs. Straighten the arm, let's bring the arms out. Toes come forward and coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So you're just hinging at your hips, coming down to your wide-legged forward fold. If you'd like to reach out, grab hold of the feet if that feels good to you. If you'd rather just keep them on the mat. If you want to bring them back behind you, whatever feels good. And then with a slight bend to your knees so that we don't lock our knees, I want you to come all the way back up to star pose. And then reach the arms out, right toes, they can probably stay where they are or come in, whatever. And then turn your left toes out, legs are straight, realign the hips, come in to triangle. And then what did we do? I think from here we'll come in to balancing half moon. So probably easiest if you bring your hand to your hip first, bend that left knee, bring the left fingers in front, and then just kick off into balancing half moon. Left leg is straight, right leg is straight, hips are opening, so you're stacking that right hip on top of the, whoo, I'm falling again. Holy folks. Tracy is on the struggle bus today. I'm gonna come back into this now. Ugh, okay. Anyways, where was I? Hips are stacked. So you're opening those hips. Right foot is flexed. Yeah, I got nothing today. Right arm comes up. Trying to lift that right leg as much as you can. All right, that's all I got. Arm comes down, right arm comes down, hips close into standing splits. Right foot comes down for pyramid. And then steps all the way back for a little lunge. Walking the hands around, coming into your side lunge. Slide across. Lunge to the right. Step up for pyramid. And reach the arms up. Bring those hands behind you for prayer. Shoulders come back, so opening the heart center, and then come forward, coming back into your pyramid. Release the hands, bring the hands to the mat. Step the left foot back for triangle. Reach through that hand, come to standing. Step the feet together. Reach the arms up, interlace the fingers. Reach up and to the left. Back to center. Up and to the right. Reach back up. Release the fingers, bring the arms down for Tadasana. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I got. I think I'm feeling some pigeon pose though. So let's go ahead and just turn and come into down dog. Hanging out here in your down dog for just a second. The quick little trick, if you don't know, on where to place your feet and your hands, if you come from down dog into plank and back, you shouldn't have to move your feet and your hands. So that's the little trick for the placement of down dog, if you wanted to know. Okay, so from down dog, reach the right leg back and then come in to pigeon. And then just walking that left leg back if that feels good, just taking a minute here to really allow the hips to sink down into pigeon pose. And then when you feel like you're pretty settled, go ahead and come on down and just completely relax and release into pigeon. If the stretch is fairly intense while you're in your pigeon, note whether it's pain. If that's the case, then you need to either come out of it or just adjust, or if it's just kind of an intense stretch. And if it's an intense feeling, try to stick with it and just sort of study it and see where it goes. And see if you can just kind of breathe into it and convince your muscles and your nervous system that everything is good and everything is safe, And maybe you can even get a little bit more into the pose. And go ahead and come back up, coming back to down dog. And then reach that left leg up and come in to pigeon on this side. And again, I always like to just kind of sit up into this pose for a moment to really allow my hips to settle into it. And then come down when you're ready. Sleeping pigeon. Sometimes I have to convince myself that it's time to come out of pigeon because this is actually one of my favorite poses. But we must move on. So go ahead and come back up. Coming back to your down dog. And then drop your knees to the mat or bring them gently down to the mat. It's probably a better idea. And find a comfortable seated position. I feel like we always do bound angle, and I love bound angle. But I think I'm not feeling it today. What am I feeling today? I think I'm feeling a twist and some happy baby. Okay, go ahead and come on to your back then. And let's come into happy baby first. So bringing your hands between your legs, grabbing hold of your feet, and then bringing your feet up so that the soles of your feet are pointed towards the ceiling. And then just use your arms to pull those legs in. Coming in to happy baby. And just hanging out here for a few moments while your body releases into this pose. And then go ahead and release the feet. Bring the knees into your chest, squeezing the knees in nice and tight. And then grab just your left knee with both hands. Squeeze that knee in tight, reach the right leg up. And then slowly lower that leg down. Bringing it all the way down. Left knee is still pulled in nice and tight. And then grab the left knee with the right hand. Left arm comes out to a T. And you're just going to draw that knee across your body. So that the left knee is coming to the right. And then you're going to turn your head and look over at your left hand, coming into a spinal twist. And just release and let go into this twist. All right, and go ahead and bring both knees back into your chest. Just kind of getting everything back in alignment. Wrap your arms around your legs, squeeze your knees in nice and tight. This time grabbing hold of your right knee with both hands. Left leg comes straight up. Squeezing that right knee in, slowly lower the left leg down. And then grab that right knee with the left hand. Right arm comes out to a T. Bringing that right knee across your body. Letting it just kind of flop down where it goes. Turning your head to look over at your right fingers. And let go into your twist. And go ahead and come back to center. Bringing your knees in, wrapping your arms around your legs. Bring your forehead up, making yourself into a little ball and squeeze everything. And then release. Arms at your sides. Legs out long onto the mat. Finding your Shavasana. And just completely surrender to your Shavasana. We'll hang out here for a few minutes and then I'll meet you after. So just completely let go. All is right in the world. And you're just chilling in Shavasana. And start to bring yourself back, bringing a little movement into your fingers and into your toes, reawakening your body. And when you feel ready, keeping your eyes closed, come up to a nice, comfortable seated position. Bringing your hands to prayer. Taking just a moment here to thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Thank yourself for doing something really good for your body, really good for your mind. And I thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your yoga practice today. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.